In today's video, we're talking about the art of meaningful networking where quality means more than quantity. Relationships are the real currency in this business. So we'll talk about how to strategically follow up and build trust and why your network's diversity is the strength. Networking is about long-term relationships that yield a steady stream of referrals, and that's what we all want. If you're thinking of interviewing brokerages, send me an email. My info's in the description below. If you've ever been at a networking event and you see one person handing out a ton of business cards, or even if people ask for your business card, in my opinion, it's always better to have, let's say, 3 to 5 really good, solid, quality relationships with other people at a networking event. Even if there's 50 or 100 people in the room, you really want to build quality relationships and collect contact information from other people. Yes, exchange business cards perhaps, or connect on social media, but your intention is to be in control of the follow-up process so that you can accurately demonstrate to these people that you are a legitimate professional that adds value to every interaction. But as Stephen Covey used to always say, make sure that you show genuine interest in other people rather than you spouting off to extensive amounts what's happening in your business or in your life. When you show genuine interest in other people, it's going to give you that much more information that you can use as key points based on the depth of that conversation for follow through on a personal basis after the networking event. And when you give first and provide value or advice without expecting anything else in return, that's where you'll see the dividends. Become an exceptional real estate resource for other people so that they start coming to you when you show up to these events. When you do collect business cards or you do connect on social media at a networking event, make sure that at least a week or two after you've met that person in person, that you follow up with either an email or a direct message and a personal note so that you add some context with your offline and online efforts so that the likelihood of them remembering you and for you to continue that relationship goes up dramatically. And if you want to build credibility and you want to build trust, one of the best ways to do that is to consistently stay in touch with these people so that they can see your commitment firsthand. Trust is the foundational fundamental in every relationship. And one of the easiest ways that you can build trust is simply by doing what you said you were going to do. If something pops up in conversation and you like, yeah, don't worry, I'll send you some information on that because I just read an article that I thought you might find valuable, or here's some statistics that I think is relevant to the conversation we're having based on my professional experience, I'll send you some information on that. If you remember to send them something specific, that's where you build trust in what you said you would do originally. And likewise, if you are networking on social media, make sure that when you connect with somebody and you have a great conversation with them in the direct messages, follow up with a phone call shortly thereafter and or follow up with an in-person coffee meeting shortly thereafter so that you're switching online and offline and adding context to that relationship. As you build relationships, you will have what's called social capital. What that essentially means is that there's a sort of deposit of accounts in each of the relationships you have. And as you know, there's only so many things you can ask for from other people without them getting something in return. So always make sure that the people that you're in professional and or non-professional relationships, you're always giving more than you're receiving. But of course, you don't want to overgive and you don't want to be receiving more than what you're giving either. It needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship. But make sure that you're doing little social deposits to add value every opportunity that you get with people within your network. One of the best ways to do that in real estate is to just keep people updated with what's happening in the market, give them actual examples that maybe they can relate to, and then even potentially an unsolicited or a market evaluation for totally for free, just to keep them updated for what their property might be worth in today's market. When you add value, it's going to create reciprocity where they're going to want to do the same thing for you. Your comfort zone is one of the biggest challenges that you'll realize in networking, especially if you're like me and you are an introvert. When I started in real estate, I needed to work on my presentation skills. So I went to a lot of different networking events that were strategically designed to help me improve my skills in different public speaking environments. And so depending on what your goals are with what you're doing in networking, you can actually align yourself with other people that are like-minded to what you are. And when you do something like public speaking, they will see your courage to put yourself out there, and they will see your personal development along the way, which as well builds character and trust along the way as well. One of the biggest problems with networking is people just think that they need to be at everything, and they might burn out, or they might show up at things that aren't giving them the fruit that they need in their business based on what their actual goals are. And if you're showing up to everything, but you're not showing up frequently enough or intentional enough, you're actually doing a whole bunch of work with no results at all either. And when you're networking, remember, it's not always a direct benefit when you meet new people. There is so many other ways than just a direct referral that you can receive in value from other people that you meet at networking events. You might meet somebody that introduces you to an entirely new area of information that's a huge valuable resource to your network. You might meet a really great referral partner that is going to be a huge support to your network that you can refer business to, that will provide exceptional service to the people that you're already working with. They might be able to introduce you to a new partner that could send a ton of new business to you, or they could potentially introduce you to somebody who introduces you to somebody who introduces you to somebody who ends up becoming the biggest client in your entire business so far. So never underestimate what can happen through the snowball effect of networking. And no matter what, that first introduction I had just mentioned, they might already have a family friend that's a real estate agent, but they see you out at networking events all the time, and they give you one opportunity that leads to the next and the next and the next to that huge client. And what I say is, you have to walk in with the abundance mindset, and you have to walk in without any expectations from what happens, just knowing that if I add value, things will come full circle, because there really is enough out there for everybody as long as you carry yourself with that right mindset. And there's always a benefit to a very strong reputation, especially in the business community, because you just never know when other agents might retire or leave the business. And that's another reason why you might want to keep in good relationship with other agents in the business as well, because when they do retire, they might need support and help with the existing networks that they have, which is one of the biggest opportunity that real estate agents can do, is adopting another agent's network into your own and paying that agent handsomely for their referrals. But remember, networking is not looking for a quick sale. Networking is like planting seeds, nurturing those seeds over the long haul, where eventually you will see a big harvest. It's not like hunting where you're going one-to-one all the time. It is just adding value to the community over time and building that equity in your business. Another key to networking is making sure that you are not just only exposing yourself to one certain type of people in your business. You want to make sure that you are along all different industries in the real estate business. You want to make sure that you're in all different geographical locations in the real estate business. As an example, you might need an agent network across the entire country or across the globe that can help refer business back and forth. And further to that point, you don't know where people are going to move from when they move to your local market, which is, again, it's a small world out there. You never know who's moving to your local market area. So being connected with people from all different countries and cultures is also advantageous. Now, referrals don't happen by accident in your database. They happen by investing into other relationships, presenting yourself as a person of authority that knows what they're talking about, that's always presenting value. And only when you've put some social deposits into that network, you should be able to receive some sort of benefit, whether it be through referral or some other opportunity. So don't be a secret agent when you're out in the public. Make sure that you are contributing to the local threads and conversations that are happening, especially from that unique perspective that is your expertise in how things are changing in real estate as a result of the hot topics in the marketplace, hot topics in the news, in the media right now that people are concerned about. And it's not a sprint, it is a marathon. It takes a long time for some of those seeds to grow, but just remember that it always pays off. Now, the elevator speech is something that people often talk about as a requirement for in-person meetings. However, I would argue that being thoughtful in your conversations and adding depth to conversations, making it about what's important to them, is way more important than anything that you can say about yourself. For example, understanding the 4 personality styles. See this video next if you want more information on that. But of course, we have the driver, the expressive, the amiable, and the analytical. The drivers are always quick and to the point in their decision making. They want answers fast. The expressive is the life of the party. They are always bubbly, often very colorfully dressed. And then the amiable is everybody's friend. They don't want to be confrontational, and they have very strong connections with the people that they know, and they're very empathetic to people. And then the analytical, which is myself, of course, included in this group, is always about facts and figures. They are very detail-oriented people. They are very thought-invoked, thought-provoked, thought-induced type of people that just do a lot of thinking. First impressions do matter. You need to be conscious of the body language that you use as you carry yourself throughout the room. Are you inviting to the people that you are engaging with? Are you carrying yourself with confidence? How's your posture? Are you professionally dressed? And what are the first few words that come out of your mouth when you meet somebody new? Your handshake, making eye contact, and a simple smile go a long way. Make sure that you're not crossing your arms or spending a lot of time on your phone, as people might find that slightly offensive. Make sure that you focus your attention on the conversations that you are actually having, and ask impactful questions to make sure that the conversation goes somewhere that they will actually remember. Dig a little bit deeper, especially if they bring up something personal. Ask a few more questions rather than moving on to the next topic. And as much as an elevator speech is not necessarily important, it is important, however, to know what your unique value proposition is. You need to be able to say very quickly, why should someone choose you? And somebody might ask you, as an example, I know a ton of real estate agents. What's different about the way that you operate your business? And they're just making conversation. They're not in any need to buy or sell real estate, but they genuinely want to know what's different about you, and they genuinely might want to support your business. And if they know what's different about you, it makes it easier for them to go out and promote your business and find your target audience for what your ideal client looks like as well. And as I'd mentioned, you want to have a lot of variety, and you want to have a lot of specific goals in mind when you are networking. One of the best ways to get a steady stream of referrals is through developing an affiliates list of people that are most likely to send you business. Here is that list: mortgage brokers, real estate lawyers, home inspectors, bankers, property managers, financial planners, insurance agents, appraisers, contractors, architects, interior designers, landscapers, roofers, plumbers, electricians, pest control specialists, HVAC technicians, title companies, surveyors, structural engineers, relocation specialists, human resource managers, corporate executives, investment advisors, wealth managers, estate attorneys, accountants, tax advisors, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, home stagers, cleaning companies, painting contractors, flooring specialists, pool maintenance companies, home security companies, moving companies, home warranty companies, foreclosure specialists, short sale consultants, real estate investors, home builders, land developers, landscape architects, and of course, commercial real estate agents. When you act as the central point of contact for a variety of people in those specific industries, and you make sure that even if one person needs to refer another person, if you are the segue that helps connect those dots, because you're the one always networking and adding value to those relationships and creating business mixers so that people can meet in person and benefit through your network, you are always going to create that reciprocity for the person that's adding value, and it will most certainly pay large dividends. When you're doing this, of course, too, remember that your reputation is on the line, so make sure that you act as a little bit of a gatekeeper when somebody asks you for a referral, that you are sending it to a legitimate professional because your name is on the line. And especially at these events that you host with all of your network and all of these different business affiliates and associates, that you recognize the people that support your business publicly, because when you do this, that recognition they receive is going to make them want to support you more, because that is one great way for you to promote them, and it's one great way for them to feel important. And in these conversations you have, it is important to note when people are genuinely supportive of your business, if they are happy with your business, if they trust that you're going to do what you said you were going to do, and you know what's happening personally in their life, you're going to be able to tell when they might need your service. And that is the most important thing when it comes to what is next in your business, for who needs you in your support and your service, who needs you next. And when somebody shows you that they want to support your business and they say, Chris, give me 50 more business cards because I handed out all the other ones, I want to help promote your business, you explain to them how is most easy for them to send you business. Of course, you can follow up with them as the referral source once they have more information from the prospect. One step better would be that you have permission from them to contact the prospect directly. But most importantly would be an in-person introduction, or of course through email or text message as well. A couple really quick questions that you could arm them with is very simple questions like, how far along in the process are they so far? And what sort of timeline are they thinking? Those are two really easy questions that will help you identify how soon they need to hear from you. When you receive a referral with a name and phone number, if you don't have any other context, it's essentially just a cold call. If you have a little bit of background information from them and permission to mention the referral source, you've automatically changed it from cold to a warm call now. And if that person goes one step further and shares some sort of testimonial about your character or their experience with you, now you have a hot prospect. And if they take it one step further to actually endorse you, you now look like an absolute rock star to this new referral. Another way to add really great value to the people in your network is to simply invite people out to networking events, because number one, they just might need a networking buddy in order to feel comfortable showing up to these events. You're also helping them in that way with their professional development, but you're also helping them expand in their professional network. And when you show up to a networking event and you only know 20% of the room, that's just enough for you to look like the rock star when you're going from one group to the next, because you always know one person out of every 5 in clusters of people that are having conversations. And because of that, it's a perfect opportunity for you to introduce your guest to the next person at that event. And even if you don't have business for them, you could introduce them to another person in a similar industry that you know could support their business directly a lot better. And as I'd mentioned, the best thing you can do is to be the one holding the microphone. And there are so many good Toastmasters, Dale Carnegie public speaking courses, and just getting out there and volunteering to be on the microphone, whether it be through some sort of volunteer board, or whether it be some sort of presentation or some sort of seminar that you host. Whenever you put yourself in an environment to be the one holding the microphone, even on social media, it helps your exposure, it helps your authority, it helps your credibility. Hope you found some value today. Again, if you're looking at interviewing brokerages, send me an email. My info's in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. Have a fantastic day.